Welcome to the Empowered Spirit Show. This is your host, Terri and Heiman. I'll explore the connection to the human spirit in a way that helps to navigate your life, including crisis. I am passionate about helping you to open up to your intuition and the metaphysical world of spirit to find your confidence in your own inner guidance. Take a pause, be inspired, learn ways to show up focused, centered, and more dynamic in your everyday life.
Welcome back to the Empowered Spirit Show. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. This episode is being sponsored by Ritual and Shelter. Are you looking for a magical place to shop and hold space? Check out Ritual and Shelter online or in Homewood, Alabama. Browse through their bookshelves covering topics such as energy healing, crystal healing, Reiki, chakras, auras, the Akashic Records, shadow work, astrology, and earth-based healing. You can also find herbal teas and tinctures alongside their crystals and oils to help establish a mindful mindset and fluid ambience before meditation, ritual work, and reflection. Ritual and Shelter is dedicated to providing one-on-one, in-depth conversations with customers to help them find the most efficient healing methods and resources that match their unique interest and energy. They offer tarot sessions, Reiki, sound bowl, and crystal healing, and now they are offering witch consultations. Visit ritualshelter.com to book an appointment and bring peace back to the body, mind, and spirit. You can also find them on Instagram at Ritual Shelter Shop, as well as Pinterest at Ritual Plus Shelter. As this podcast goes to air, we've moved into the Leo season. Leo is all about opening up, being in our heart, creativity, expression, and even roaring a little bit. We have a huge portal of energy opening up next week, the Lion's Gate. It's already open, but 8/8, it's the most intense part. This portal, it opens every year when the sun is in Leo, the star Sirius, and Orion's belt, and the earth all line up. A powerful portal of energy. It's a time of increased cosmic forces flowing between the physical and the spiritual realms. It's an activation of energy. This alignment opens a galactic portal that allows higher vibrational energy to be sent to Earth, which we all can tune into and connect with. The numerology of 8 represents infinity, the infinite soul that we are, and the infinite journey of all life. It represents that infinite potential of the quantum field, never ending and always evolving. 8 is a number associated with the DNA activation, abundance, power, and higher realms of consciousness. So 8/8, as it opens up this week, and into next is a super potent time of energy, light codes coming in. You can feel a little bit off your game. You can even feel a little disruptive, and you have a lot going on, a lot of stress and energy. You could even feel a little bit of that dark night of the soul, wondering what is going on with me. That's what's being asked right now, especially with all those planets in retrograde, and especially with everything going on in our world consciousness right now. So it is a chance to reflect, review, renew, and then open up to this beautiful portal of light that can help your soul grow and evolve, reflect, rebrand, redo, renew the way in which you show up. Very important time to open up to that spiritual journey. I know for myself, I've shared a little bit, but I have been doing a little psychic development in the galactic forces, uncovering such amazing energy. Last week was really intense. What came forward for me, working in some of that serious energy. Pretty amazing, pretty reassuring for my soul's journey. It does help us to open up and grow and expand our consciousness. Leo is all about dropping into the heart, constantly returning to this vibration. And that's really kind of what I offer to help you work with this portal of energy. Be in your heart, get out of the mind, bypass that, move up into the higher realms. Remember, it's a quantum field out there. You are a spiritual being in this physical body, but allowing the growth of your soul, looking for the cosmic forces to be that guide for you is so valuable right now. Don't allow yourself to go down this rabbit hole thinking, oh my gosh, what happened? I'll never be the same. Allow yourself to grow, to shift, shape shift, as I've been talking about. There is a lot of recalibration of energy going on, and this is one of the ways that you can do it for yourself and your soul. So, yes, it can be a little disruptive. You can feel a little breakdown of energy, but know that this is going to show you more about your higher consciousness and allow what no longer serves you to fall away. Yes, that's what this energy is about right now. That's why summer is so potent. And I just concluded my summer soul care boot camp, Shape Shifting Your Relationship to Food and Yourself. I had a great response to the posts and the emails. This is a big topic, a big subject. Energy of our emotions runs deep, and the behaviors that we have are shaped by those underlying emotions. We uncovered a lot of different things, from family, not being accepted, to even clutter, and how our emotional body can then turn to, I talked about food, but maybe it's you shopping or drinking or drugs or any of those addictions we turn to. That's exactly what it was about. So you can find the replays right now on my website just for a short amount of time. And I am offering a session. Yes, at a reduced price, $108. Come do some gap tapping. Now, gap tapping, as we talked about all week, is more than just tapping. We're working with some shamanic techniques, breathwork, Reiki, all of the tools to help you get through this as we open up to this Lion's Gate energy. When was the last time you had an energy session? Now's the time. August starts to do some transitional energy work. Some people go back to school, so we start to change up our schedule. Schedule a spiritual upgrade call with me if you're not sure what direction to go, and let's chat. I'll put all the links in the show notes. In today's episode, we continue this journey through the tarot with my guest, Jada Cato. She shows us a glimpse into her world as a recording artist, how the tarot has come in to help her through storytelling, creative experience, and all of her energy tools that come forward. Before we begin, let's take a moment to pause and center and set an intention for where we are under this galactic portal of the Lion's Gate energy. So wherever you are, if you can, close your eyes for a few moments. Taking a nice deep inhale, breathing up the body. And as you exhale, just call all your energy into you, call it in. Inhale, expanding the breath up the body. And as you exhale, begin to slow down, centering your energy. Inhale, expanding the breath up the body. Exhale, dropping right into the heart as I light a little bit of the Palo Santo, a little fire. Activating the sacred elements, the fire, the air, the earth, the water. Calling all these elements in around us. Calling in our Reiki master teachers to work with us and through us, to support us, calling in the angels to open our hearts with joy and love, calling in the crystal beings for amusement, magnification, calling in your higher self right above the crown to help receive these messages for your soul's journey. Taking another deep inhale and exhale, dropping right into the heart. Notice this vibration of your heart. Let it empower you to open up, to expand the consciousness of your soul, to open up your light body, this radiance that you carry within you, as we honor the cosmic forces. Right here where I am in the season of summer, direction of the south, where we allow the patience to grow. The Divine Mother comes in to help us shift and shape our emotional body, to feel that radiance all around us. We call in the directions to the south, the west, the north, and the east, above us, below us, returning right here into the deepest part of your heart, setting an intention for your growth, your soul's journey, right here. See and hear and feel and know this intention, and allow it to radiate out all around you, setting that energy. Taking another deep inhale and exhale, beginning to ground the energy, keeping the heart open, activating that third eye. We seal this in, and as you're ready, Blinking the eyes back open. Coming back. So my guest today is Jada Cato, the cosmic cowgirl, a southern-born starlet whose music is a radiant fusion of heart, soul, and celestial energy. From the stages of CMT's Concert for Love and Acceptance to writing sessions with Waylon Payne, her songs are cosmic postcards filled with raw emotion, soulful vocals, and stories written in stardust. A recent recipient of GLAAD's National Rising Star Grant and a Birmingham native with Georgia roots, Jada blends country grit with astral grace. Tracks like Heartbreak Down the Middle and Shooting Stars captures everything from love's eclipses to joy's supernovas. Whether she's leading a workshop in her hometown or chasing lyrics on the coast, Jada's musical orbit is magnetic. Hop in because the journey isn't just a ride, it's an awakening. So let us welcome Jada to the show. Welcome, Jada.
Thank you, Terry. Good to see you.
Thank you for joining us today. One, I'm excited to have on your podcast, but also, two, to learn a little bit more about you. I've known you for a while. So welcome to the show, and thank you for the work that you do as well.
I listened to your show, and I never imagined being on it, so this is pretty cool.
Yay! Well, my summer series has been all about the tarot, and I know I met you over at Ritual Shelter reading cards. So I thought, what a perfect guest, because you're so interesting in all that you do with your music and storytelling. I thought it would be a great episode for our listeners to understand a little bit more about, the tarot. And my purpose with this summer series has been just to show that the tarot is so much more than a predictive way of looking at your energy, that it can open you up. So the first question I've been asking is, did the tarot find you, or did you find the tarot?
I, for years, have been trying to remember. I think it was like a mutual finding. I just remember in high school going to like Barnes and Noble or Books A Million with two friends, and I got a Bible and a tarot deck because I didn't really get,
Was one to interpret the other, or which way was it? No,
yes, I was like, it just made sense to me. Like growing up in Georgia and in the South in general, it's kind of hard to miss any Christian upbringing, right? And so it was like in me, but I wasn't really like indoctrinated until high school when I decided to go myself. Like I had a friend invite me or something, and I was like, no, I don't know. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, I can vibe with Jesus. And then I don't remember how I learned what is tarot, but I just remember being like, I gotta have that. And I feel like, why wouldn't you want a little picture book along with your other books? And I was a religion minor. I've always been interested in world religions, and so I like to explore how they interact with spirituality in different ways.
I did not know that about you. How interesting. Yeah. So what was that first deck?
I can't remember. I know this was 2000, like 11 or 10, something like that. And I'm like, I feel like I gave it away. Like, I used to work on a cruise ship. I did a contract singing, and I think I gifted that deck to someone. So if you have that deck, call me and let me know what it is.
So what do you read with now? Let's go there.
Ooh, right now, because I have a few decks. I've been on the modern tarot for a while. If I want to really dig deep, like I have a deck that's specifically just for me. I don't share it with clients or friends or anyone, and that's the Wildwood Tarot. I like how earthy it is, and I like how transformative it is. Like if you've just picked up a deck and you don't know anything about the tarot or the death card or the tower or whatever, it could be like a little intimidating. But so I like the nature-based decks a lot. I think it takes some of the fear out of it and just talks about the transformations that those cards are really about.
I love that you have a deck just for you. Because I've talked about, like, do people touch your cards? They don't touch your cards. But I love the idea of having a deck just for you. So you're not reading it as often, perhaps, or it's just a little bit more your own messages.
I'm not reading it as often. It used to be like my main deck for me, and now I'm kind of using the Modern Witch Tarot for me. But I also, like, for example, when I was full time in Birmingham, I would take Modern Witch to Ritual to read for people, and so there's just so much energy that goes into it. And of course, I cleanse my cards, but it is nice to have something that I've connected with that only knows me and my energy.
I love that idea. I really do. I think that's pretty fascinating. Yeah.
I got a card signed by Maggie Rogers, who's an artist. I took this deck to Nashville and I was waiting out back for her. And I was like, will you please sign one of my tarot cards? And she was so into it. And she pulled the ancestors, which was pretty cool because she's, risen in the ranks of the music industry. So it felt like some kind of nice little omen.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. How fun is that? I think there's so many decks out there, and I think they all have a resonance. And I think that's why it's important that you don't have to be gifted your first deck. Like, find what resonates with you,
I
right? How
agree.
do you want to see it? Is it the colors, the numbers, the imagery? Like you said, the nature. I think that's really important. We were talking
Right.
last week on the podcast with my guest, Dr. Calvert, and she was talking about the Mother Peace cards. And it took me for a moment because the Mother Peace cards brought me back to the tarot because I started with the
Oh,
Rider Waite and I got scared. But my 40th
oh,
birthday, those came back in. So I thought that was funny that that was her main deck. So I think there's so many that we
mhm.
can work with and to grow. Now,
Yeah.
would you say that the tarot then also opened you up to other intuitive modalities, energy modalities, perhaps like Reiki, something like that?
I was already doing Reiki at the time. I didn't call it that. I just was doing energy healing for myself or family, and I knew that I could shift things around with intention, but I didn't really realize that it was Reiki or start studying like the history and the science of Reiki until um, probably a little after college. But there were a lot of, just like many women in my family, we have a lot of natural gifts that maybe we didn't name. And so when I get older, I'm like, oh, I was doing that. I've always been super into yoga and the mind body spiritual connection, moving energy in and out of the body as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything new that it brought me. It did introduce me, I guess, to bigger communities so that I was introduced to other modalities of divination and things like that. Yesterday, I was talking to someone whose grandma was from Greece and she used to read like they'd pour the coffee out and see the grinds that were left and read that. Like I never heard of that. So it's really just opened me up to more people, if anything.
That's fun. I love that idea of opening up to more communities. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that is something we talked about with Jennifer about ritual and shelter, like how that brings that community together. And I think that's important, especially right now. There's so many people feeling alone and isolated. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it seems as though that the tarot was a natural energy for you, right
Yeah,
along with that Bible, but it was a natural energy for you to combine some of those innate abilities as well as your ancestral energy, is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, I know you're a musician and you write a lot of your songs, right? But
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about, well, then we'll ask about your music. Let's talk about storytelling because you
Okay.
do call yourself a storyteller and you have a passion for it. How does the tarot help that?
Ooh, whether it's music or as an actor, or even just in my own personal like growth story, which a lot of I've learned from you, Terry, about the stories that I tell myself. Storytelling is always present for everybody, whether they know it or not. And so, like you said, tarot isn't always predictive. I actually rarely use it as a predictive kind of modality. It's more tapping into my subconscious and drawing out that which maybe I'm afraid to see or don't want to see, or I'm just blinded by something, by my own stories. And so, and it can also help me with the stories I tell myself about other people or the environment. That meeting felt off. Was it me? Was it me or was it okay? Maybe they're having a bad day. I mean, nothing beats direct communication, of course. But or when I'm making business decisions, I like to do pull a card, and it's really never wrong. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stick with it.
Yeah. And I think the beauty of the tarot is a good storytelling with it. Like you start with the card and then you look at them and then you keep coming to going back around. All of a sudden you see this whole storyline come forward.
Yes, it is a literary piece of art. You start with a character and it literally the fool's journey. And it takes you on this journey, and then it's almost like a choose your own adventure. Well, what if I go the wand's direction? What if I go the cups direction? What if a wand is in the middle of the path of all my cups? Like there's so many options and directions.
Yeah. Now, do you use it for your songwriting?
I Songwriting I feel is more of a channeling for me,
Okay.
but I do use it like deciding release dates, and I'll look at the astrology too, or collaborators that maybe I'm not super familiar with. I'll pull a card. Um, but that's kind of a cool idea if I pulled three cards and pulled a story from it for like a song prompt. I'm into that. And I'm also working on like talking about the tarot as story. And this is going to be a long journey, but I'm working on some books about like based on the tarot, kids' books accompanied with music.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I think it's such a creative medium that you could do that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to. You gave me a new idea.
Yeah. Yeah. One summer, a couple of summers ago, I don't know which, in one of my groups, I was doing a meditation every morning and then a journaling. And we were using the tarot as part of that journaling. So we would pull a card and then we would take a few moments and how would that do? So that's kind of what that reminded me of. But I
Yeah,
do think there's storytelling comes forward. I think for myself, even, it's helped me to be able to like tell a story. And I know when I first started reading, maybe you can relate, I was a very fast reader. Like I saw it right there and I just blah and it was done in 5 minutes and like, wait a minute. And like we
right.
need to slow down. So that
Yeah.
helped me to learn to tell a story. Right, go
Mm,
back around. Let's go in here a little bit, but then over here on the side, well, maybe, and so then it became a journey, which really
right.
did extend the reading and the information we were uncovering. Yeah.
Right. And how to hit the little details, like if I'm teaching tarot or if a client has a question, how did you know that? I'll say, okay, look at the card. What do you see? What colors do you see? What do you see? Water? Are they looking at the water? Are they looking away? Do they look happy? Do they look sad? Like things that you would do in your typical English class, but for tarot.
Your typical English class. I don't know. I've got some memories of that. I remember being in college and told I'd never be a writer. I'd never be able to write poetry. And like, whoa. And it really did shut me down.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So you have to be
gosh.
careful of that. But I think that's why, having so many different ways to come about it. I agree. And it
Mhm.
is just like being in a class, right? And we could say English class, but being in a class with, like, okay, well, what is the colors? What is the numbers? And again, the elements. That's why I love the tarot so
Right.
much. I mean, I love the oracle cards too. I do. And I use them,
Yeah.
to supplement sometimes and just a quick pull. But I love the idea of looking at the elements because we all have those elements in us and we can relate. And that helps us to show when we're out of balance, where we need balance, or where we want to, direct our attention. Yeah.
And why did each deck creator choose that art? Why did they change it from wands to sticks? Why did they go, you know what I mean?
Hello,
There's
that would be
always
me.
a reason, right? It's interesting to see how someone else's interpretation of the tarot changes our ideas of all the cards or like expands our ideas of all the cards. Okay, it's not just this because now I'm seeing this in the art. That makes sense too. And just letting it be a little more malleable as opposed to this really rigid system that had to come from Rider Waite and it has to be exactly like this.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what mine was. And I actually had somebody else do the art. And so explaining it to her and having her idea of art come forward was very interesting as well. And I did the elements because I do all my work with these sacred elements. And that's what the suits really are, the elements, the fire, earth, and water. So cups, wands, swords, and pentacles, right? Same
Mhm.
thing. So it is an interpretation, but yet the format still stays the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I like about tarot versus oracle. Even no matter how different we get, the essence, the story, the underlying story is still the same. We still start with the fool and end with the world, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll admit, I think sometimes my storytelling with the oracles is a little harder because they can be such different. Like each card has so much energy into it that sometimes I find it hard to weave those stories together with the oracles versus the tarot, which to me seems just a natural story. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Interesting though. Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever been scared by your own cards?
Yeah. my just last week, my sister's she's pregnant. She's about to have a baby, and she didn't feel well. And I pulled like three terrible cards, and I was like, "That's enough for today." I mean, it started with the death card, and I was like, "And you're done." I can't. And obviously, everyone's okay. All is well, but it's things like
But it
that.
is
Like
a new cycle for her, though. It is a new cycle, and out of death
exactly.
comes success. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was thinking it was more related to, her stress and the change and transformation. But, it depends on how personal it is. Like the more personal it is, the scarier it can be because my
Hard to
brain
be
goes
objective.
from logical, this is what it could mean to, "Ah!" So that's when I go to like you or somebody else and say, I need help.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's really easier to read somebody you don't know because
Yes.
then you just read the cards. Whereas you're a little vested in your sister, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. So
Exactly. It's
I
like
hear
a
you on that.
doctor. You can't operate on your own family. I think that's a good rule of thumb for me.
Yeah, you can maybe start practicing with them, but even that can sometimes not give you accurate information, right? Yeah,
Right. Because
definitely.
tarot is so vulnerable and you have to be really honest with yourself to say if this relates or not. And so sometimes I think it's just better to be with someone that is a little far removed so there's not that fear of judgment or what if or whatever.
Yeah. So I love that you bring all this together and your music right now is such a big focus for you. Tell us a little bit about how that journey has opened up.
Whew. I've been a musician and a performer my whole life. And moving to Nashville was another big step for me. I've done opera, musical theater for many years, and in the background of all that, I've been writing country music since probably 2006, because I'm from the sticks. And I was like, I'm a little burnt out with the theater scene. I'm burnt out trying to prove myself and being the sidekick black girl or being stuck in the back. No, no hate to the ensemble. I love the ensemble. But I was like, can I cuss? I'll skip it. F that. I'll just make my own show. And so I started focusing on my music, putting a band together. And as this is happening, I'm also expanding my services and getting yoga teacher training and Reiki certified and learning more about my decks, meeting people like Jennifer and being like, okay, there's actually a really big community out here. Birmingham is not the magic city for no reason. So it kind of blossomed as my spiritual connections blossomed as well. And now
Yeah.
I am here writing, recording, touring. If you're an Alabama football fan, I'm about to release something super exciting for you. And then I'm releasing almost like a protest song right after that. And both are going to have visuals. So I'm super excited.
That's exciting. Very exciting. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good for you. I did not know you moved, as we were talking about before we hit record. So that's exciting. I love
Yes.
Nashville. I was up in Nashville a lot. I had a sweat lodge group. And it's kind of shifted
Ooh.
a little bit. Lee has passed, but I
Mm.
was up there a lot. When I first moved back here, I found this group. Yeah. Toltec Wisdom. Yeah. So I do. I haven't been up there in a while. I need to get back up there for
Get
sure.
up
Yeah.
here. Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
I was going to this meditation energy healing group that my friend runs, and I went to text him and ask for his address, but I barely scrolled up and saw an address, and I was like, oh, that must be it. He must have sent it a while back. It was Halloween of 2024. So I get to this address. There's a rainbow on the mailbox, and I'm like, that's him. And I park, and I don't see any recognizable cars, but it's a bunch of his friends. So I'm like, that's fine. Someone lets me in the door. It's a yoga studio, but it's a house. Like, it is the most incredible thing ever. And I'm sitting here talking to these people, and I'm like, so where's Jeremy? And they're like, Jeremy? Do you know a Jeremy? Do you know a Jeremy? I was literally at the wrong house. That was not his house. I don't know what, he didn't even remember sending me that address. He said, I have no clue. I texted that to you last year. And it's a whole retreat center. And I was like, oh my God. So now I'm getting connected with them because they were like, I had my yoga mat and they were like, you look like you're in the right place, but we don't know a Jeremy.
That is so funny.
Right? So Nashville clearly has its own orbit that I am getting into.
Yeah, that's so funny. But right time, right place. You were meant to be there, right? There we go.
Exactly.
That is
Exactly.
so funny. Yeah. Well, Nashville is an exciting place and it is beautiful. It's grown so much. It's crazy. But what a great place to be for your music and everything that you've opened up to, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where can we find you? You told us you had some songs coming out, any classes? What else is going on for you?
If you're listening in on Saturday, if you missed the She Show that was just this past Wednesday on the 30th, I think you can go back and hear that. That's my interview with Drew, who runs the She Show on Birmingham Mountain Radio. I also have a new website, which is jadacato.com. And like I said, I have two songs that I'm producing right now and doing visuals for. So make sure that you're following me on all social media at Jada Cato Music so that you can get updates. And last but certainly not least, I'm producing a big old countrified dinner theater event here in Nashville at the Listening Room on September 17th, which is National Black Theater Day. I am a co-artistic director of Birmingham Black Repertory Theater Collective as well. And so we're producing this event to showcase marginalized artists, storytellers. I met the coolest like swamp witch last night from Louisiana, so we want to highlight some local businesses. I was like, bring your bolo ties, bring your everything. You know, it's gonna be such a fun night. The ticket link just went live, so you can also find that on my social media. And tickets are going fast. You really don't want to miss this. We have Reese Palmer, Bree Carter, Lauren Michael Sellers, who was actually a Birmingham Southern grad and was on this recent season of The Voice, and many, many, many other artists. And I'll be doing a full band performance at the end of all of this and previewing the two songs that I'm telling you about. And you'll be the first people to see the music videos before anybody else. So that is September 17th in Nashville. Other than that, I'm just booking and writing and doing my
That's a
thing.
lot.
Cards, yeah.
That is so exciting. Congratulations on that. How
Thank
exciting.
you. I'm
Yeah.
super excited. I still try and make time for, when I'm in Birmingham, I'm like, Jennifer, if you need a reader today, if I have a free day or something, or people will schedule Reiki for when I'm in town. So my books are like half open. They're
There
cracked
you go.
open.
There you go. Well, that is awesome. It's so great to be so much and to have that energy artist. I call it artists of the spirit, right? All these things
Yes,
that help us. Yeah,
yes.
for sure. So leads me right into our final question. I do like to come back and close and just ask your ideas of how you feel that working with the tarot and the art and the music can help to empower the spirit right now.
Man, I mean, it's all about raising our vibration, right? That's what our spirit needs, is to be lifted. And our collective spirit, God, we just need some lifting. And that starts with one piece, and then we get another piece, and now we're a whole big thing. So find music, find spirituality that is encouraging you to, I don't want to say stay high, but to stay high in spirit, to stay high in your energy. And that doesn't mean to spiritual bypass and that nothing negative will ever happen and that you're never going to feel any what might be classified as low vibrational feelings, but those are necessary. We work through those so that we can get back up, and just accepting the highs and lows of the journey and being kind to each other and understanding of people and wanting to learn more. Yeah, I think that's it.
Stay high with your spirit. I totally
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. And let art be empowering for you. The colors, the numbers, the sound, the vibration, all of it.
Like, even if we're not kids anymore, there's still this element of play that we have to bring back. I feel like, because I'm a Leo, right? And happy Leo season, everyone. Happy birthday, y'all.
Yes. Yeah.
Most people that come to get readings from me, the central theme is inner child wounding. Um, And so I like to do workshops specifically in Leo season around play, color, like you said, painting, like finding ways to express yourself, the joy and the grief. Because that's just another way of working it out of our body. We don't have to always go and do some push-ups or run or something. Like sometimes we just need to sit and pick up the pen. Sometimes we need to sit and get the paintbrush or pick up the guitar and just fiddle around with it. Just practice.
Especially in this hot southern weather. I totally agree with you. Yes.
Right. Stay inside.
Yes. Yes. Jada, thank you so much for joining us today. I'll have all your links in the show notes. I appreciate all that you do. Good luck with your work and your music. I can't wait to hear it. Yeah. To your spirit. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yes. Stay high with your spirit. Allow the artist within you to be empowered. That artist, it's in all of us. As I've learned from my Toltec studies, be an artist of your spirit. Grow, expand, listen to music, color, paint some rocks, bead, get a tarot deck, and allow the energy of summer to radiate your light out through the growth of your soul. Be sure to check out all of Jada's work. Listen up for those new tracks to come forward. All the links to her will be in the show notes. And be sure to schedule a spiritual upgrade breakthrough call with me, and let's talk about that next step forward for you as all of this transition and the cosmic forces continues. Be sure to share this episode, and if you would, leave me a review on iTunes. It definitely helps the podcast to be found. Thanks again for listening. I am your host, Terri Heiman, to your spirit. Namaste.